Hey everyone, and welcome to a new video, and today we're doing part 2 to the action platforms video. These are the type of games I usually play mostly these days just because, I don't know, it just brings me back to the old times when I was a kid. But you guys really like the first one, so want to do a part 2, so let's get right into it. Here's The Messenger. I missed out on this game's original release, and I'm so happy to finally get a physical release of this. Now, if you haven't played The Messenger, it is pretty much like a spiritual successor to the Ninja Gaiden series, but more of a comedic one. It's a lot of fun. It's way more balanced than the American versions of Ninja Gaiden that we got on the NES. Heck, I'll even come out and say that it's a much better game than those NES releases that we got in America. But yeah, if you see this game, well, more than likely you're not going to see it in the wild, like, easily, I would say. But so if you find it for a good deal, or you find it at a convention, definitely pick this one up. Or if it's too expensive, you can always download it, which is what I did originally. And man, I gotta beat this game. I was like halfway through before I put it down. I got stuck in an area that was really annoying. But now I'm motivated. Now that I had this, I'm motivated to play it again. So make sure you guys add this one to your list. Here's Wallachia, Reign of Dracula for the PlayStation 4 system. I got this from a company called Pixel Heart, and pretty much this game really feels like a throwback to the old school Castlevania games. Not the Metroidvania ones, but the more level-based ones. I would say this game is more of a run-and-gun type because of your main weapon is a bow and arrow, which you get upgrades with. You also have a side weapon, which is a sword. I feel like this game more focuses on like range combat, but if you're good enough, you can use a sword to deflect attacks and get close to enemies, of course, or just use it as a last resort. But depending on how skilled you are, that's going to be how effective that weapon is for you. You can tell that the people that created this game are big fans of the Castlevania series. It has an awesome soundtrack, and each level has a cool boss fight. It has little story tidbits too that kind of like help the story along as well. So definitely, if you're a Castlevania fan, definitely pick this one up. Here's Guns and Runs. This is a run-and-gun shooter game where you get to play as 4 different characters with other characters to be unlocked as you play through the game. But what I like about this game is that it takes off from the start. No crazy story bits that you have to go through and everything like that. It gives you a little bit of dialogue, a little bit of story, and boom, you're into the gameplay. And the first level will teach you how to play the game. You'll get used to the controls, the dash mechanic, which I call it. And pretty much with that mechanic, you could dodge through enemy attacks and dodge into like other platforms. The whole mechanic of using the dodge move is great, but you can't overuse it because that would pretty much break the game. So there's a limit on how you could use it. But definitely a cool mechanic in the game. And then of course you get your guns and everything like that, upgrades, things like that. There's something about this game that just kept me like going on, even though I thought I was going to stop playing. I was just compelled to try to get further. And a cool point I want to mention is that when you get killed in this game, when you lose all your health, you get to start off at the area prior to where you died at. So you'll start off in this little room, and once you go to the other room, you'll pretty much be in the area where you died at. So the pacing in this game is perfect. One thing I hate about platform games, and maybe this is because I've gotten older or whatever like that, maybe my skills aren't the same, but man, starting back all over at the beginning of a level is so annoying. And, depending on what type of game it is, usually, I'll probably put the controller down because it kills pacing. But thankfully, this game keeps the action flowing, and that's what I mostly like about it. Now, you do have boss battles. In each level you're in, you'll face 2 bosses. You'll face like kind of like a mini boss, then you'll face the main boss. I think the ideas for the bosses are well done. They're very fun to fight. I struggled a little bit, but kind of like using the special attack which I haven't mentioned yet. Each character has their own special attack, and it's usually tied to a certain element. Once I got used to a certain boss's patterns, I did really well, especially using the attack to kind of like put the icing on the cake. But from what you guys are saying here, let me know if you guys will be interested in this game in the comments section. Next up is Panzer Palatin. I just barely found out about this game. Well, I found out about it a while ago, actually, but I totally forgot about it. But now that the physical is out, I took interest in it. So this is an action platform game. I don't know too much about it, but I know that you get inside of a mech and you can go like fight enemies pretty much during the levels. You get out of the mech, I believe, and fight as well. I'm not too sure about that, but from what I saw of the game on the trailer, it looked pretty cool. So if you guys have played this in the comments, let me know what I'm in store for. So here is Battle Princess Madeline. I had been eyeing this game for a long time, pretty much when it was actually kickstarted. Obviously, they reached their funding for it, and the game was created. And I wanted to wait until a physical release came out for the game. So once that came out, I was gold on it. Now, you guys probably saw a long time ago, if you're hardcore watchers, that me and Jason actually did a video on this channel. We did a gameplay video, and I was playing the arcade mode. It was pretty tough for me at the time because I could barely get past the second level. I don't even think I got past the second level during that playthrough. But the real way to play this game, honestly, is through the story mode. The story mode, it seems like that's the way the developer wanted the game to be played. So it's a bit easier than the arcade mode. But still, it's nice to have like both options of the arcade mode and the story mode for difficulty. So pretty much the way the game was meant to be played and the way the game was meant to be played if it was in arcade. So definitely try out both modes. If you're thinking it's going to be as hard as Super Ghouls and Ghosts or Ghosts and Goblins, I would say it's not as hard as those games. It's a bit easier for, I would say it's a bit easier than a Ghosts and Goblins game, but still it won't hold your hand. So definitely try this one out, guys. And if anybody's already played this one, let me know what you think about it in the comments. I'm interested in hearing your opinions about it because I really enjoyed the story mode, how the game played, but playing the arcade mode, I was like, oh man, this is getting on my nerves. But I still could beat Super Ghouls and Ghosts pretty easy, so I don't know why I'm struggling with this game, but maybe I just got to practice a little bit more. Here's Gunvolt Chronicles Luminous Avenger 9 Part 2. That's a crazy title. But this is very similar to Azure Striker Gunvolt Part 3 in any of the Gunvolt games. You play as Copen, and pretty much a little bit of the story, you get transferred to another world, you find some other beings, they're pretty hostile, you're trying to find your way back home. I felt like the workers in this game, where those are the enemy types that you fight, were pretty awesome. I think they were very well done. My favorite out of the bunch that you fight is Brigade. I think Brigade is pretty awesome, especially if you fight them on hard mode. Definitely a worthy boss battle. But all of them are really good. Man, this is another action-packed game I think a lot of people will like. I was thinking about doing a review on this game, but I figured, you know what, it's just, there's plenty of good reviews out there. I mean, you guys are seeing it here now, so I'll just talk about it briefly here. But I think this is my favorite Gunvolt game right now in the series. That's probably, people are looking at me like I'm crazy, but man, I think this is the best one so far. So, yeah, you guys let me know what you think about that. But definitely, I would say pick this one up if you have the chance. It's a lot of fun. The music is great. The battles are just epic to me. I feel like it's just a throwback to the games I like. You know, like, I don't know if you guys noticed, or maybe you should notice already, but I'm a big Mega Man fan, and I love the Mega Man X series. I love the ZX series, even the Zero series as well. So definitely try this game out if you get a chance.
Atomic shield! You better be ready! On guard! Bringing it back! Go! Fire! 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 Forward march! I will hold the line! This is it for you! I will race you! Let's go, Vespa!
Yes, brother!
Connection?
Complete!
Synchro onslaught! This is our
True power!
time!
Watch closely! I'll obliterate you!
Here's Clockwork AQ. So I wanted to add this game to the list because I don't think a lot of people know about the game's existence, even to this day. Now, the game got revived around 2 years ago now, and originally it was supposed to come back in the 90s, but it failed one of its location tests, and they ended up canceling the game. Luckily, Strictly Limited was able to help get this game revived, and I think it's a pretty good action platformer, and I think a lot of people might want to take a look at. Now, the game is very arcadey, so, you know, it could be, I don't want to say it's like difficult or anything like that, but it's kind of like tough not to get hit sometimes. At least it was for me. But I think it'll be a game that you could get easily familiar with if you play games like Super Mario Brothers 2, or also known as Super Mario Brothers USA. You know, picking up items, throwing them at your enemies, you know, hopping on the enemies, things like that. I wish this game was online, but at the same time, I'm just happy it's here. So next up we have K's and the Wild Mass. So I had no idea this game existed until my buddy John Houston told me about it. So John, if you're watching, thanks for letting me know about this one, man. Appreciate you. So if you're familiar with playing games like Donkey Kong Country and Klonoa, you'll kind of know what you're getting into here. From the get-go, I felt like just the nostalgia from playing Donkey Kong Country with this one. So like when it comes to getting the lettering and stuff like that, spelling K's name out, getting the rubies or whatever they are, jewels or something like that, just really felt reminiscent of that game. So you know what I'm gonna say. If you like what you're seeing here, you definitely might want to check this one out. I'm having a good time with this one. Next up is Azure Striker Gunvolt 3 for the PlayStation 3. Now, you guys know I talked about this game before as well. I had the Switch version, but I wanted it on PS4. And as far as I know, this is going to be the only physical release for it. I don't think any American company is going to make a physical release for it. But if you guys haven't played this series by now, you guys are really missing out. Now, remember when I did my video before about it, the ratio wasn't correct on it. So it was all squished. The image was pretty much squished. But now I'm playing the game in 1080p. You guys are seeing that quality. The game is 60 frames per second. It's a lot of fun. If you like games like Mega Man or Mega Man Zero, you know, Mega Man ZX, you'll definitely want to play this game. It is on point. Great boss battle, great level design. Just overall, a lot of fun. Looking back on this game's origins, you know, it's crazy to think this series pretty much started on the 3DS as digital download, and now look how far it's come, you know. Definitely support this game, guys. Well, hopefully we'll keep getting more games like this, because this game is a tribute to the old school platformer, I would say.
Prudent, aren't you? Now for my specialty! Waltz of twin elements! Enjoy, Striker. Cautioning your partner while heeding your enemy. You could learn a thing or two from him, little kitten.
We got this, kitty. No matter what Attempts is trying to do, as long as we stand together, we can stop them.
Let's go! GB! Hidden 90-second run. Divine Ruin Heresy!
How magnificent! That's it for tonight.